We're talking about the URSA Cine Immersive workflow for the Vision Pro here at Blackmagic Design.
You're watching CineD, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi everybody, we're here at NAB 2025 at the Blackmagic Design booth. I'm here with Matt. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Doing very well indeed. Well, this is exciting for me. I've been interested in, like Apple Vision Pro immersive video content for a while. And as we know, there has been, it's not been easy to create that kind of content for anybody, outside of the Apple sphere, I would say. Like if you were an independent producer, it's very hard to do that. Also in terms of resolution that you need. Now, last year at WWDC, we saw Apple's mention of the upcoming URSA Cine Immersive. And since then, there's been not so many updates in terms of like when can we expect the camera and so on, but now there's more, right?
So yeah, there's more. Yeah, we've been working really hard in conjunction with Apple to get this camera ready to go to market, and it's actually available for pre-sale right now. And there are units out there in the field that are actually filming content as we speak. So part of the whole relationship with us and Apple is we're trying to create the cameras for creators and the post-production software to really make the whole production and post-production process a much simpler proposition.
Run me quickly through the specs of this camera. There's also been not so much information about what's actually inside in terms of sensor and so on.
Sure, yeah. So this is the Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive. And just like any of our URSA Cine cameras, it's using our latest sensor technology. So actually, we have two sensors in here, and they're two of the same sensors that are used in the URSA Cine 12K LF.
So very interesting. It's not actually the 17K large format sensor.
That's right. It's actually two of the 12K sensors. And because it's a circular image circle, you're getting about 8K per eye.
Okay, 8K per eye, that's exactly what you need, right? With a Vision Pro, I think it's about 8.5K resolution max.
Yeah, you want to basically be shooting 8K. You need to be shooting at 90 frames a second, and you need to be shooting in camera raw, so you can have all that fidelity delivered to the headset.
Okay, so recording, how do I record? I use the Blackmagic Media Modules, I guess?
Yeah, so inside here we have our 8 terabyte Blackmagic Media Module. So this we have an 8 terabyte and a 16 terabyte model. This 8 terabyte model at the 90 frames a second at 12:1 compression, you'll get about an hour and a half worth of record time. So it actually ships with an 8 terabyte module, and I am not 100% sure in terms of the CF capabilities, but in terms of ensuring that you can get the frame rates, the resolution, and the codecs or the compression rates that you want, I definitely recommend using the media modules.
Are there other significant differences in handling these or in terms of the firmware compared to the URSA Cine line?
It's going to feel really similar. All the menus are based off of the same operating system. There are some things that are specific to immersive. Like we have a button here to switch between the left and the right eye on the screen. We also have a punch in that allows you to zoom into basically where your rough field of view would be in the Vision Pro for preview purposes. And then we have a custom overlay for framing in immersive. So this outer circle represents your 180-degree field of view, and this inner box represents your approximate field of view inside of the Vision Pro.
Okay, interesting. Now, you mentioned something important, which is monitoring, which is always an issue with any kind of 3D production. Is it possible to hook up a Vision Pro somehow directly or indirectly to actually see a real lifetime feed of what you're recording?
So right now, this camera has beta firmware, and we're continually adding features and updating it. We are looking at the possibility of actually streaming directly to the headset, and that's something that we're hoping to be able to provide.
Okay, so nothing that's inside it yet.
It's still in progress in terms of developing the camera, but the components are there, so we're pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to do that. I can also actually tap off an SDI feed and do Resolve Live directly into Resolve as it is now.
So if I want to record spatial audio, I would probably have to do that with a separate audio recorder, right? It's not built in.
No, it's not. Yeah, spatial audio is not built in. We do have onboard mics, and we have 2 XLR inputs, so you can record field audio through there. But if you're going to be recording spatial audio, generally you'll have an external recorder and an ambisonic microphone.
Okay, awesome. Now you have built up here a full DIT station. What is required to, do the whole production, like the whole workflow?
You can right size this camera and this whole setup for almost any production. You can be a single operator. I've operated as a single operator. Or you can go to a much higher level of production where you would have a full DIT cart with routing and streaming and everything else. So this cart here is actually designed so you can actually produce your dailies on set. So it's a very capable setup we have here.
Awesome. Give me just a rundown of the features of that special version of DaVinci Resolve that you're working on, which will go into DaVinci 20, right, when it's ready?
Yeah, so right now the immersive capable version of Resolve is a private beta that's being used by some of the initial productions. Eventually those features are going to get rolled into the normal version of Resolve. And we're still kind of adding those features as we're going. But at this moment, you can bring in these immersive Blackmagic raw files. You can edit them, you can color grade them, and you can export directly to the Vision operating system.
Awesome. So what's special about that DaVinci version? Like, run me through some of the features. We're going to show in pre-roll, but maybe you can tell me so.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're setting up your project, you will check the Apple Pro IM workflow checkbox, and that basically enables the immersive workflow for that project. And when you import your clips, the Blackmagic raw files will be recognized as stereoscopic clips automatically. And so as you add them to your timeline, that timeline becomes a stereoscopic timeline. So that's going to activate our 3D panel on the color page where you can switch between the eyes. You can do both eye grading or single eye grading if you need to tweak something just in one eye. You can control how the image is masked for delivery to the Vision Pro. And then from there on the deliver page, there's actually a preset for delivering to Vision OS.
And is that workflow specific to the URSA Cine Immersive, or could I apply that workflow also using stereoscopic footage that I have generated using another camera setup?
So in terms of the immersive workflow, we're definitely concentrating on supporting the URSA Cine Immersive camera. And the real key about that is it's not just about capturing a stereoscopic image, it's about capturing the metadata that's associated with these lenses, with the sensor in this particular camera. Because that rich metadata travels all the way through Resolve into the Vision Pro so that it's unwrapped accurately in the headset. And that's really a key feature about what makes this workflow more powerful and less of a science project. It should be really invisible to the end user.
So what kind of metadata are we talking about? The syncing of the two different images and stuff like that?
So when these cameras are being manufactured, these lenses are fixed and they are calibrated in the factory. And that calibration lives with the Blackmagic raw file. So even if you're cutting between multiple cameras, that metadata moves all the way through Resolve into actually the Vision Pro. Because when we deliver, we're actually delivering in lens space, which means we're delivering that circular fisheye image. We're not delivering an unwrapped equirectangular image. So that unwrapping actually happens in the headset, and you need that lens calibration data to do that.
Very cool. Actually, how do you focus with this camera?
So it's fixed focus, and it's going to hold focus a meter away to infinity, and actually even closer than a meter. And because it's a fisheye lens, and because the iris that we have fixed in there, it really holds focus quite close.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. I mean, that's a lot of new stuff for me as well. Really looking forward to actually shooting with one and just experiencing what you're able to capture. And very exciting times. I think the Vision Pro seems like a long-term thing for Apple. So let's see where the next steps take us. And I think the whole, booth experience thing for Vision Pro is something that we'll see more of. That's what I'm feeling, basically having Vision Pros in outlet stores or whatever, where people can put it on and actually experience footage is something that we'll see more of in the future.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see what people are going to do with it. Advertising space, creators, immersive documentarians, that's really the goal, is to give the creators the tools that allow them to do this kind of content in a very efficient manner.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for your time and all the expertise. And thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more videos from the Blackmagic Design booth here at NAB 2025. And of course, dozens of other videos from other manufacturers and other new products. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.